My big thing was from when I started and we were going to scale to more stores, I knew that if we were going to take this to a point where it was going to be scalable, we needed consistency. So I wasn't going to go from a Speed Queen to the next store being Dexter, to the next store being Maytag, to the next store being Hitch, because I wanted to have everything consistent so that my customer could go from one store to the next store to the next store, see the sign out front and go, I'm walking in the door, I know what to expect every single time. Same laundry card. That was the big thing. Fast card, laundry card. I wanted you to be able to go from, you walk in the door at Broadway, you see that the machines are full and you're like, oh God, I don't want to really wait, but I got my laundry card. Okay, I'm going to go up the street to Tremont Street because it's probably not as busy. You can go in there. The machines work the same. The card works there. Nice. It's universal.
So you had this vision of and have created what we've created, which is, I call it a family chain. So it's not a franchise; it's a chain of laundromats,
correct?
Branded the same. You go in, customers come in, they expect the same experience, and
exactly.
they get the same experience, and that's the whole point behind it.
Yeah, and we had each individual store originally had their own name, and I said, okay, how are we supposed to advertise this or make cloth laundry bags? And then we're going to have a laundry list of Broadway Laundry Center, Tremont Street Laundry Center, Bubblette. It's like the names will go on and on. So I said, we need to scratch that. We need to make one website, rename it all, create one logo, one sign, and just, that was the other thing. That's where Easy Clean Laundry Center was, essentially born. So, and then there's always customers that have been going there for 20 years and they're like, oh, you mean Broadway? The one on Broadway Laundry Center? Yep. That's the one.
I'm curious, what was your dad's reaction to this? Like your vision of where you wanted the company to go? Was he kind of, hey, that's a side business for me. I'm an electrician running this. I trust you. You're a smart kid. You just got out of college.
Yeah.
Take it and run with it. Or was he battling you and fighting you? And
he never battled me. Nope. Okay. He basically knew that if I took it and ran with it, and I'd run the ideas by him, and he would have the final say. But it was never like, that's a crazy idea that'll never work, because it was just always one of the ideas that, if you're going to take something to a new level, you have to have some sense of consistency. And even from an employee standpoint, when I would hire an employee, find one, I would train them at one location. And then, one day I might take them and bring them to the other location. And I would show them, listen, we do everything the same, no matter where you go. So in 3 of our stores are within 2 miles of each other. So, and 2 of them have wash dry folds. So if I have an employee that calls out at 1, I could, in theory, call one of my other employees and say, hey, do you mind working over at Broadway today? I'm short staffed. And then they get there and they're like, I'm really nervous. Is this, I don't know what I'm really doing. I'm like, just close your eyes and pretend you're at the other store. It's no different. And then they find out that, hey, it's the same way. We use the same soap. We do the same process. We do everything the same. So I think consistency in the business, if you're going to scale it and go to multiple stores, you need to remain consistent and set that standard for your customers that if they hold that card and it says your name on it, you're going to be able to go into that store and know how everything works. So that was big.
Yeah, I think that's really powerful. I think people should maybe take pause for a second and think about that, because there is so many advantages in building a chain that's branded the same. I mean, you talked about, like, we don't have to order 4 different laundry bags. We don't have to keep inventory of those. And that's like it sounds small. I guess it is relative to everything we do in business, but it's a big deal when it comes to wanting to scale. I always call it scalability. Is your business model scalable? And if you're a hodgepodge of all these different operations and things, we do that. I mean, you're describing our business almost to a T. And it was the
Yeah.
same thing from store number one. I knew I wanted to have more. I didn't know our
Mm.
business would look like it does today, but I knew I
Yeah.
wanted to mimic those things. And
Hmm.
you talked about employees. We don't, when we hire an attendant and things like that, we don't require them to work at other stores, but
Yeah.
we allow them to, we empower them to, and we explain
Mm.
to them how easy that is. And we do what we call cross training. So they're trained at one store, and then they
Mm.
always work 1 4-hour shift at another store with a trainer. And
Yeah.
that's mostly just so they know where supplies are, because every
Exactly.
layout in the closet and where you hang your hangers and
Yeah.
those things are different, even though
Yeah.
it's the same hangers.
Exactly.
And that is really powerful when it comes to staffing. So, which
Yeah.
is what you're talking about. I hear it all the time from people. I can't find good people. Well, a big part of it is if we hire a part-time attendant to work part-time and then they want to grow into full-time, if you only have one store or your
Yeah.
business model is built in a way where you can't let them work at other stores, at least not easily, then you can't serve their needs. They're going to go find a full-time job. We have many
Exactly.
employees that start out part-time and we say, hey, if you want the hours, we have them, but you're going to
Oh
work
yeah.
15 hours a week at this store and 18 at this store and 32 at this store, and you're going to get overtime. And
Yeah.
they sometimes take it, sometimes leave it.